This ain't just a channel, this is BBTV.
This isn't about last night or what happened after dark. This is about the middle of the day moments where something small turns nuclear before you even finish your coffee.
One sentence, one reaction, one emotional spark, and suddenly the whole situation is on fire. Welcome to Freak Out Friday on AskABee, because this one didn't just escalate, it got out of hand real fast.
A boss be rising, BBTV's igniting, turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited, from the gravel road to the neon dream, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss be rising, sky ain't even the ceiling, when she hits go live, everybody feels it.
Does anybody else think that BB maybe need to cut it down on, the caffeine on Friday? She spoke a little fast. Welcome in, everybody, to Crazy Freak Out Friday, because these are some crazy stories today. And it's also the day of the week where we take the most absolutely unhinged stories the internet has to offer, and well, we ask the question we all are thinking. What in the actual fork is wrong with people, right? Because let me tell you something. If you ever needed proof that real life is weirder than fiction, today is the day, my friends. We've got parents acting like high school villains, relationships turning into full-blown soap operas, and people making decisions so wild you have to stop and ask yourself if they were thinking at all, or if their brain just clocked out and left a note that said, "Good luck, everybody." Mine does that on the daily. Anyway, that is what we do here. We dig into these stories, we pull them apart, and we laugh a little bit. We freak out a lot. And sometimes we all learn a lesson about what not to do in life. I hope, ? Because sometimes the internet, it brings us stories that make you nod your head and go, yeah, I get that. And sometimes, like today, the internet hands us stories that makes you sit back, blink twice, 3, 4 times, say, oh no, no. This is about to get crazy, okay? So if you're here live, get comfortable. Get yourself a drink. I got my coffee. I got my water. I got all my stuff. Y'all get it together. Get ready to shake your head with me, because, yeah, these stories today, they're not normal. Not even a little bit. They are the kind of stories where you start reading and 5 minutes later, you're yelling at your screen like people involved can actually hear you. And honestly, that's why we love Crazy Freak Out Friday. At least I do. I don't know about y'all, but I hope so. Because sometimes the best thing you can do when people act absolutely ridiculous is call it out. Laugh about it a little bit and remind ourselves that common sense should not be this rare. So let's get into it, because the first story today is already warming up the crazy train. And I can promise you, it does not slow down from here. All right, Eric, let me load this sucker up, because I'm telling you, we're going to have some fun today. I've been crazy all week, and I just need to let it out. So here we go. Starting with our first panel, and if you'll forgive me, I'll have to do a little sliding myself, and then I'm going to slide this silly thing out of the way. Alrighty. Panel 1, story 1. Am I the a-hole for naming my dog Lucifer? Let me answer your question right now. Absolutely not. Okay. I just got a puppy. Originally, he was sexed as female. Okay. Yeah, gendered maybe would probably been the better word, because relations wasn't going to work there. And the shelter given name was Lucy. Love it. He replied to it, so I kept it. A few weeks later, I found out he was a boy, but he already responded to his name, so I jokingly just lengthened it to Lucifer, and I call him Lucy. Okay. He's a German Shepherd and Rottie mix. So he sort of looks like what you'd expect hellhounds to look like. Okay. Nice. I love this one already. The issue comes in with my father. He's a priest. Oh, no, you didn't. And has been since I was a kid. He doesn't like dogs anyway. In his opinion, dogs are the devil's animal. Oh, not that kind. I grew up with cats. As the opposite of dogs, they were obviously the opposite of hell, so heaven's animal. Buddy Rowe, you got that mixed up. And so when they found out I was getting a dog, he prayed for me. Yada yada. I never really believed in all the Jesus stuff. Okay, well, you should because he's there. And if you ask anyone, my dog is named after Lucifer from the show, not the literal devil. See, that's why I love it. Okay, who doesn't love the show, the Netflix show, Lucifer? I have binge watched that shit 3 times already. I am not playing with you. Not the literal devil. And they call him Lucy too, y'all. Because to me, he doesn't exist. Plus, my girlfriend is a witch. Okay, she's Wiccan, I'll bet. So I'm basically as far from Christianity as one can get. I mean, growing up in that, I have to tell you, I think I understand. Anyway, my sister saw a post on Instagram where I used his full name. No big deal. Well, I thought it wasn't. Oh, Lord. Lord. Goodness. Gosh. Well, I thought it wasn't. My mom called me sobbing, saying I'd been preyed upon and I needed to get rid of my dog immediately. After a while, I explained he hadn't forced me to give him that name because he's a dog. All he knows is poop on mom's floor and eat her expensive shoes. And I chose it for him. Since then, they have been begging for me to change it. It's a name. So I'm thinking it's pretty funny. I mean, I would be laughing. I am laughing. Yeah, I'm laughing. Besides, Satanism doesn't sound that bad. Okay, that's going a bit petty far. Jokes aside, it's getting really serious. Like my dad showed up to baptize my dog, kind of serious. I told him to fork off and told them they were all blowing it way out of proportion. My girlfriend thinks we should just change his name to appease them. And I am thinking we may have to, but I really don't want to. He's my dog. And I should be allowed to name him whatever the fork I want to. Am I the asshole? Changing his name wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it almost feels like I'm letting them win again. Okay, so there's an OP offering here too. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I think I'm the asshole because I could very easily solve this situation, but I'm being stubborn. Okay, yeah, probably. Come on now, y'all. Are we serious right now? You named your dog Lucifer and the family emergency response team shows up like you just opened a portal to hell in the living room, no doubt. Let me get this straight. It's a puppy, a furry little German Shepherd Rottie mix, right? Whose biggest life goals right now are chewing shoes and taking a dramatic poop in the middle of the floor. And your dad rolls up ready to baptize the dog. Sir, baptize the dog. What are we doing? What are we doing? What is the next step here? An exorcism? Because, the dog chased his own tail too aggressively. Come on, really? Your mom is sobbing like the apocalypse just started because you named your dog Lucifer. which, by the way, half the internet named their black cats that after the Netflix show anyway. But no, apparently this is one dog is the gateway to Satan. And here's the part that gets me. The dog does not give a shit. Or actually, that's all he gives, right? Wasp. Nope. B. Anyway, the dog does not even know what a Lucifer is. You could change the name to Pancake or Broomstick or Tax Audit, and he'd still come running if you shake a treat bag, right? But now everybody is acting like you summoned the Dark Lord himself because your dog has a dramatic name. No. We are not turning a puppy into a theological crisis. This is not a religious war. This is a dog who thinks socks are food. And I'm sorry, but the image of a priest showing up to baptize a rotty mix named Lucifer is the funniest forking thing I've heard in a week, okay? To the original poster. You're not an asshole. You are just the owner of a dog with a metal band name and a family that needs to take about 20% off the holy water and maybe pet the dog before declaring a spiritual emergency. I mean, that's just me, you know. All right, I grabbed me some comments. I like these stuff. First commenter, not the asshole. Just change his Insta name to Lucy.fur. Cute. OP response, that's a good one. And that's all he said. Second commenter, make your parents happy and tell them the dog's name is Louis Christian Fur. Now that's a good one. I like that one. Third commenter, that is just an amazing response. Tell them you renamed your dog Lucifer and the C stands for Christian. I'm just dying to hear their reaction. Me too. Fourth commenter, also on Netflix, the title character of Lucifer goes by the nickname Lucy. Duh, we already talked about that, but that's on me. Look, the comment section is absolutely showing out today, and I'm here for it. This petty little masterclass. Look, first commenter says just change his Instagram name to Lucifer, and OP goes, that's a good one. Which yes, it is, because that is the exact level of chaotic compliance I respect. Commenter 2 comes in with, tell your parents his name is Louis Christian Fur. We're getting fancy with it. We're putting a little halo on the hellhound, aren't we? Right? And then the commenter 3 takes it even further. No, really, say the C stands for Christian. I am dying because Dad, the priest, would pause for a second like, well, that does sound very wholesome. And he probably pet the dog at this point. And then finally someone points out that I was already thinking, right? And you were too. Hello, Netflix people. Lucifer literally goes by Lucy on the show. So technically, the original poster naming the dog after suit-wearing nightclub owner with a British accent who solves crimes, which frankly makes this whole situation even funnier because I don't care. Lucifer is a pretty man, okay? I'm going to put that out there too. But I kid you not, I've sit there and watched Lucifer 3 times now in a row, every single episode, and please bring it back, would you? Look, this comment section understood the assignment. Okay, plain and simple. All right, we're going to move on to our second one already. These are a little small, but hey, we'll make it. And they're kind of crazy. I like them all. The last one's a little bit longer, but still. Okie dokie pokey. Let's try the third one. Third panel, that is. Am I the a-hole for accusing my mom of being selfish when she forces my twin sister's dad to include me? Wait. I may have to read that again. Wu-Tang. I may have to read that one again, though. Let's do that again. Am I the asshole for accusing mom of being selfish when she forces my twin sister's dad to include me? Wait, you're twins. Don't you have the same dad? Uh-oh. Buckle up. You read that right. My twin sister, 16 female, and I, 16 male, don't have the same dad. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Mm-mm. This is coffee. I don't do tea. Or maybe I do. All right. Well, let's get into this one. Mom slept with two guys close together and had us. DNA proved this too. Oh my goodness. This is so beautifully messy. Let's get into it. It's always been a weird thing, and we get a lot of questions in real life. My sister's dad was willing to do the DNA test, took it, and it showed he was her dad, but not mine. Mine had to be dragged to court, and he has found ways around paying for me, and he and his family never wanted to know me. That's shitty. So my sister, hello, somebody sitting behind me or something back there. So my sister grew up with a dad and I didn't. That's really shitty. Mom didn't like it, and when we were young, 3 to 5 maybe, I apparently used to get so sad when she'd leave and go to her dad's house. Wow. And I couldn't go with her. I don't remember it, but I get why it'd be true. This is such a strange story already. Where am I? Okay, so mom told him he had to include me. And he was like, nope, no way. It ended up in court with mom wanting to take away his parenting time. The judge ended up saying he didn't have to take me for his custody time, but he had to include me in any big days out with my sister or family holidays if she went along. He tried to get my mom to drop it, but she refused. Wow. Okay. So ever since I was about 5 or 6, he has been forced to include me in his life sometimes and the lives of his family members. No, none of them want me there. I know they see me as this huge burden. I hated it. If I wasn't being ignored, they were just really short with me and made it so obvious they didn't want me there. My sister was torn between me and her dad. I told her I didn't want to deny her her dad, so she never let it come between them or us. When I turned 13, I tried to put my foot down with mom, but she told me I had to go. And she said she'd take his ass to court so fast if he let me wander off and didn't make sure I was okay like he would with my sister. There's only 2 years left, but I can see how much my sister's paternal side despise having me around. It sucks being forced somewhere that nobody wants you. And my mom is still serious about taking him back to court. So I told mom a couple of nights ago that it needs to stop and she can't keep doing this. She told me I don't deserve to be left out because of her actions. That's true. Hello. Hi, Moon over Miami. How are you? Oh, at work today. Cool. Me too at the moment. So I told her she can't make them love me, and they have shown their disdain for me for over 10 years now. I told her to let it go. She got so mad she wanted to yell and cuss at them. I told her to stop being selfish and stop forcing them to include me because she's the only one who wants that, not me. I told her I never wanted this. Mom broke down and then she told me it wasn't necessary to be cruel to her. Am I the asshole? All right. Hold up. This story is one of those that hits you in the chest before you even know which way is up. Two twins, same mom, different dads. I get it. It happens. I don't even know how to begin to understand that. So that's the complication here in the first place. And that's a crazy oh my gosh. Lady, you should apologize way before 13 or however old this young lady is, or son, or whatever. These children, why would you do this to them? You know, one kid gets a whole family and the other one gets court documents and side eye for 10 years. Are you fucking kidding me right now? And let me say this right now. Hey, vibing with VC. Good to see you, doll. How are you? So let me say this right now first. This kid is 16 years old and has more emotional awareness than half the adults in this story. Because what he is saying, he's not screaming, why don't they love me? He's saying, Mom, please stop forcing people to pretend. That isn't cruel. How is that cruel? If anything, it's cruel to him, right? Thank you, Vibin. Thank you so much, hon. I appreciate that so very much. Thank you. I'm very happy to have you too. Oh, so, okay. I got to calm myself down because this one's got me heated. So, that is a kid who is exhausted. Literally exhausted from being dragged into rooms where everyone looks at him like he's the extra chair at Thanksgiving. And I get Mom's heart here. I do. Okay. Because she knows the whole situation started with her decisions and she doesn't want one child feeling less than the other. That's admirable. Kind of a little too late, but admirable. But you cannot court order people into being family. You can't legislate love, people. Come on. All you can do is create a situation where a kid is forced to sit through birthdays and holidays knowing everyone there wishes they weren't there. That's not fairness. That's the real cruelness right there. This child sitting in a room full of people that are side-eyeing them all the time, the entire freaking time, right? That's a 10-year masterclass in awkward silence and passive-aggressive potato salad. Look, the real gut punch here. This kid is actually protecting his sister's relationship with her dad. After all he's been through, he's still protecting his sister. Let her have her family. I'll be okay. That is not an a-hole. That is a kid who grew up way too fast because the adults around him couldn't accept a reality that he already has. Mom isn't evil here. She's hurt and guilty and trying to fix something that it can't be fixed. Not in court, okay? But the original poster. You're not wrong for saying out loud what everyone has been quietly living for 10 years. Sometimes the kindness is not forcing a seat at the table. Sometimes the kindness is letting someone walk away from a room where they were never wanted in the first place. Don't force him. There's no reason to. You're torturing this child. All right, we got some comments on this one. Whew. These are heated today. First commenter. The only a-hole here is your mother. Amen. This is not your father. It's your sister's father. She has that family. If they got to know you through her, they might have loved you for that, despite your mother. Agreed. The way your mother went about ensured hard feelings. I'm sorry your father wasn't involved and that you don't seem to have family on that side. This mess is of your mother's making. Anyway, not the a-hole, and neither is your sister or father or her father. And the OP had a response. Yep, it made me a burden to them instead of someone that they didn't hate seeing sometimes. It's not like I think they had to love and want me, but mom made sure things will always be tense and awkward and not friendly. All because she couldn't just make it up to me at home instead of forcing someone else to include me when he was clear he didn't want to. Also, think the judge sucked for forcing it. You know what? I have to agree with that wholeheartedly. She just created more problems by doing all this, you know? She really did. This poor kid. But I have another look on this that I'd like to point out. Regardless of who the father was, you know, the other twin's father that was around, I think that he could have stepped up and been a bigger person and made that child feel like you're the twin here. You're part of me. You're part of this family. It's a kid, y'all. It's a kid. You're going to take one, take them both. I mean, you wouldn't adopt them out separately. They're twins, right? So why would you? Oh, that just got me. Okay. Another comment here. Let's see. We literally have an apology act here in Canada. We can express empathy over a situation without assigning blame or fault. Just a way to say, I know it sucks and your feelings are valid. Like the other non-Americans here, acknowledging the harm the original poster's mother has caused everybody in this situation and letting his half-sister's family know that he's been trying to put a stop to it for years might make the last couple of years less shitty. Mom is a giant flaming dumpster fire of an asshole for doing this and continuing to insist even after the original poster asked to stop it. His dad sucks too. Thank you. Thank you. Look, the comment section is coming in hot, obviously, and honest today. First, the first commenter says the only real asshole here is mom. Because this was never the original poster's dad. I mean, it really wasn't, because he just decided against it or fought against it or whatever. It was his sister's dad. And by dragging this into court, she basically guaranteed 10 years of tension instead of any chance those people might have gotten to know this kid, right? Naturally. And the original poster even agrees, says it's turned him into a burden in their eyes instead of just a kid they might have been okay seeing sometimes. You know, he's not even asking for love. He's just wanted the force. He wanted you to stop forcing. Okay. And then the commenter too drops in an interesting point. If you ask me, Canada, they actually have an apology act, believe it or not. And guess what? I have it. You know, which it basically just means that you can acknowledge someone's pain without admitting to fault. And maybe that's what should have happened here years ago. Someone just saying this situation sucks And I'm sorry you're stuck in the middle. Instead, everybody digs in, and now this kid is the one trying to end a fight. He didn't even start. We got to stop leaving stuff on our kids, because he's 16 years old. He's not equipped to deal with all this. He isn't. He is most definitely not. Okay, I'm going to go calm down, let these dogs out, because I got one with an old man bladder. So take a listen to the song. I love it. My creation. I'll be right back.
She came from the quiet storms, built a fire from the ground, turned a whisper to a warning. Now her voice shakes the town. Every setback was a lesson, every doubt became a key, unlocking something bigger. That's the rise of Boss Bee. When the lights go low, her vision hits high. She built a whole damn network off a promise and a try. Every sunrise, every moment, she's stacking legacy. This ain't just a channel, this is BBTV. A Boss Bee rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel road to the neon dream, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss Bee rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. She's the queen of the comeback, the storm in the stream, crafting stories out of heartbeats, making visions out of dreams. Got thunder in the hustle, got a voice that cuts clean. Every mic she touches turns the power unseen. So let further spin the numbers, let the views rise slow or fast. Boss Bee doesn't measure wins by echoes of the past. This moment is a pivot, this season's history. Bow down to the founder of the BBTV dynasty. Boss Bee rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel roads to the neon dream, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss Bee rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. She's got fire in the head, it's got truth in the frame, got a heart that won't retire and a gift you can't name. Every loop, every letter, every dream she sets free, it's a love note to the world sign. Boss Bee. And the world keeps watching as the numbers climb, but she's counting all the moments, not the dollar signs. From the late night grind to the daylight scene, she's building something bigger than the algorithm's dream. Boss Bee rising, BBTV shining, her story's rewriting, a legacy in real time. Boss Bee rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel roads to the neon dreams, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss Bee rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. BBTV, where the stories breathe. BBTV, where the dreamers believe. Boss Bee rising, watch her take her place. This is BBTV, this is her grace.
All right, we is back now. Again. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like my song a lot. I actually wrote the lyrics to it, but it is made through Suno because, well, I don't have a band to make, and I don't play an instrument that complements my voice. I learned how to play the trumpet in high school and junior high, so kind of hard to sing and blow that thing too, right? All right, here we go. Here is our next story. All right. Am I the a-hole for filming my wife while she got stung by bees? Yes, you are. My wife and I were enjoying some beautiful spring weather today out on our deck. I was sitting in the sun reading a novel while my wife was tending to her flower garden. We were having a great time, but suddenly, pardon me, my wife started yelling out in pain. I looked up and saw her running across our lawn and swatting. It was clear that she was being stung by bees. I wasn't going to go over there since I didn't also want to get stung, so I sat at a safe distance on the deck. Oh my goodness, I'm already to smack this guy. Sorry. After a few seconds of watching this, though, it became sort of humorous to me. Sir, it became what? My wife was running in circles and looked ridiculous. I grabbed my smartphone and started to record her. She finally ran to the gate, removed her clothes in the garage, and went straight into the shower. I went into the bathroom and asked her how many times she'd been stung. She said, I think 10. I know she's not allergic, so there would be no point in offering any Benadryl. After showering, my wife took a nap. As she slept, my 15-year-old son got home from a friend's house. I showed him the video I had taken because I thought he would find it entertaining. But he wasn't laughing and instead seemed concerned and angry at me. I assured him that I made sure she was okay, but he called me a jackass, and well deserved, and said that he was going to tell my wife when she woke up. Well, he told her, and now neither one of them will hang out with me. I wonder why you. Oh, okay. I've tried to joke about the experience by making buzzing noises near my wife. You did what, dude? Really? Oh, but she just sighs and goes into another room. She's a better woman than me. It's important to be able to laugh at yourself, but she's taking things so seriously. Really. I just want them to stop being so dramatic and judgmental of me. This treatment just sucks. Am I the asshole? Yes, 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 you're the asshole. Yes, you're the asshole. Okay? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. Well, I got a few, but you go ahead. My wife got stung by bees while gardening, and I filmed it while she ran in circles swatting at them. This might make me the asshole because I could have simply sat there and done nothing. No, asshole, you could have gotten up off your tuff and helped her. That's your wife. She's being hurt. Look, you've got to be kidding me with this one. Sir, your wife is out there living her best springtime gardening life, minding her own business with the flowers, and suddenly she gets attacked by a whole flying needle squadron. And your response is not, oh, Fork, are you okay? No, no. Do you need help? Oh, no. Not even let me get a hose or something. No. You sit on the deck like you're a Forking Nature documentary, and then you pull out your phone and start filming like you're about to narrate it. And here we see the wild spouse in her natural habitat as she attempts to escape the angry sky raisins. Are you serious right now? 10 stings. 10, 10, 10. And your follow-up plan is what? Show the video to your son like it's a family comedy special, a trophy. And then when your wife finally stops feeling like a human pincushion and takes a nap to recover, you're making buzzing noises at her later like you're the court jester of bad decisions. My dude, this is not learn to laugh at yourself, okay? This may be don't film your partner's pain like it's TikTok content, okay? That's not what this is. And I love that the 15-year-old son is the only person in this house with a working moral compass, because he watched that video and immediately went, yeah, no, Dad, you're a jackass. Which, for the record, is the correct scientific diagnosis here. Okay? My God. Nobody expected you to dive into a bee swarm like some kind of beekeeper hero, you know? But maybe, just maybe, don't sit there laughing and filming while your wife is doing the forking Macarena of pain in the backyard, sir. So, yes, congratulations. You are absolutely the asshole. And if you keep making buzzing noises at her, you might be the next one sleeping in the garage with the bees. Okay, we got comments. You know I got comments. And they're good. Of course, they're good. So the first commenter says, you're the asshole and you lack a little decency towards your wife, especially if your 15-year-old can tell you your behavior was off, especially to record her. And making jokes such as buzzing sounds, get a grip. Agreed. Second commenter, bee stings hurt. Yes, they do. I'm B. I should know. And when stung by multiple at the same time, are known to create an allergic reaction from the venom. Not always, but it happens. And yes, it does. Okay. My kid, I got one. Yes, it is venom. So one might not cause something in someone without an allergy, but her taking a nap was probably her body exhausted fighting. Benadryl really would have helped. But oh my God, your child saw one parent taking pleasure in the distress of another. Like actual harmful and psychological distress. You're the asshole in such a big way. I cannot believe you are this dense. I hope you have I don't know that word, of humility to apologize to both your wife and son for this betrayal, because that's what you did. You broke trust as a safe haven and support with malicious ridicule. Amen. Third commenter, yeah, you're the asshole. I see no humor in your wife's pain. A better man would have done something like turn the hose on her, make the bees leave her alone. I can understand you not wanting to get stung by going over to her, but to grab your phone and film while she was being attacked was really tacky. Amen. You owe her a big apology and some time spent in self-examination as to why you thought this was okay. Agreed. Thank you, BC. Thank you so much, honey. You have a wonderful day. Heck, even your son responded with a more mature response than you did. Shame on you. Amen. Shame on you. Look, the comment section is absolutely dragging this man through the stringers today. And let me tell you, stingers. First commenter comes in real hot with, you're the asshole. And you need some basic decency, because if your 15-year-old kid is the only one telling you your behavior was messed up, sir, that is not a great look. Okay. It's just not. Then commenter 2 breaks it down like a science lesson. Bee stings are venom. Amen. I know that. Of course I do. I'm bee. Multiple stings can absolutely exhaust your body. And while your wife is dealing with that, your son just watched one parent basically entertain themselves with the other one's distress, which is a whole different level of awful. Oh my gosh. And then the commenter 3 says, what a lot of people are thinking, right? Nobody expected you to jump into the bee swarm like a superhero, but grabbing your phone and filming while she's getting attacked, that's just tacky. The consensus here is pretty clear, okay? Put the phone down. Apologize to your wife, and maybe let the 15-year-old continue being the most mature person in the house. That's the only thing that you've done right in my eyes, because that's pretty damn ridiculous. Okay. All right. Final story. It's a little bit longer, but got to stretch that hour out, right? All right. Here we go. Come and go. Come and go. All right. So, yep. Am I the a-hole for calling my ex-wife a crazy bitch for trying to break our daughter and her boyfriend up so that she can start dating the boyfriend's dad? Okay. Wow. My 45 male ex. Oh, he's 45 male. Ex is female, 35. And I have a daughter, Alana, 16 female. Yes, I have changed these names. Alana has been dating Eric, 18 male, for about 8 months now. Things have been going well for them. My ex is active in Alana's school community and recently met Eric's dad, 44 male, at a recent school function. From what I understand, they hit it off and were moving in the direction of seeing each other. That is until Eric's dad found out that my ex is the mother of his son's girlfriend. He thought things would be weird and awkward if they started dating, so he made it clear to my ex that they were no longer a possibility and why. Sounds like a good guy to me. My ex did not take it well. Of course she didn't. According to what Alana told me later, her mom came home drunk one night and started mumbling at her about how she was a burden who always ruined her happiness. Ooh, mommy, don't darken my doorstep. That'll be the last thing you do. Look, never mind. The next day, ex either didn't remember or pretended not to remember and thanked Alana for taking care of her when she was drunk. But it didn't take long before my ex started telling Alana how she didn't think Eric was right for her. They've got a 2-year age gap and 2 years. Will be separated for at least that long when he went to college, and that it would be better to break it off now. Alana was upset and they got into a fight, had bad enough that she came to spend the night at my place. I told her that her mother was full of it, and as long as the guy's not hurting her, it's none of her mother's business who she dates. Agreed. Things calmed down for a bit before suddenly escalating. Instead of simply telling my daughter it would be best to break up with Eric, the ex started actively trying to sabotage their relationship. Oh, let me find out. You know what? Examples include telling Alana she saw Eric with another girl. Talking up and trying to introduce Alana to one of her friend's kids. Are you kidding me? And even stealing Alana's phone so that she could use it to text Eric that they were done. Oh my God. After resolving the misunderstanding with Eric, Alana had an even bigger fight with her mother before finally getting the reason why she was doing this. She wanted to get together with Eric's dad, but he wouldn't be with her because the kids were dating. Alana lost it. called her mom a crazy bitch, and came back over to live with me. When I got the full story, I was livid, as well you should be. I called my ex to ask her what the fork she thought she was doing. She said her love life wasn't any of my business. I told her I don't care about her love life. I care about our daughter. Then I asked her why. If Eric's dad wouldn't be with her because of the kids' relationship, would she think he would be okay with her breaking the kids up? She called me jealous and said he would know if I didn't tell him. I called her a crazy bitch, just like Alana did, and hung up. I'd have done worse. Now, not only am I getting texts from her calling me abusive, but also her sister and her friends, who I assume don't have the true story, calling me the same. I try to ignore them, but it did get me thinking about whether I went too far when I lost my temper. I'm not a 16-year-old like Alana who can't filter their thoughts from their mouth. Am I the asshole? Okay, there's an edit to this one. I don't really have enough time to go through this and respond to individual comments. There are a lot more than I expected. So I just thought I'd address something that I see keeps popping up here. Unlike some of you are assuming, I did not make my ex crazy or emotionally stunted by grooming her or some nonsense, because we met at a bar that guarded at the door. I assumed she was older than 21, and because neither of us were looking for something too serious, we didn't get too personal. We just hooked up. I didn't find out how old she really was until after she was pregnant. We decided to try to seriously get together for the baby and got married. It didn't work out, and we divorced after about 4 years. Now I'm fine if you judge me based on the info that actually exists, but please don't go making up some crazy ass stories about how I'm some kind of predator without any proper context. Agreed. That's just rude. Okay, so the OP's offering the following explanation why they think they might be the asshole. I think I might be the asshole because I yelled at my ex-wife and called her a crazy bitch during a recent conflict that we had, which could be considered by some as me being verbally abusive towards her. I don't think so. I don't think so. Look, everybody sit down, because this story is a whole soap opera wrapped in a train wreck and then set on fire. We've got 16-year-old girl just trying to date her boyfriend like a normal teenager. And somehow her mom turned this into a forking episode of Desperate Housewives. School fundraiser edition. Okay. Let me walk this through because it gets wilder every step. Mom meets the boyfriend's dad. Okay, fine. That happens. Adults meet, they flirt, whatever. But the moment the dad finds out, hey, your daughter is dating my son, he does the mature thing and goes, yeah, this could get weird. Let's not. Perfectly reasonable adult decision. End of story. Dead ass, right? Nope. Apparently, mom decides the solution is not respect that boundary. It's destroy my daughter's relationship so I can shoot my shot. Are you fucking kidding me right now? We have a grown woman out there trying to run a middle school breakup operation, lying about the boyfriend cheating, trying to set her daughter up with other boys, stealing her phone to text we're done like some low budget reality show villain. Okay. And the reason? Not because the boyfriend is bad for the daughter, not because the relationship is toxic. No, because mom wants to date the boyfriend's dad and he said he won't do it while the kids are together. That is next level selfish. Narcissist. That is blow up my child's life so I can get a date level of messed up. And then when the daughter finally puts 2 and 2 together and goes, wow, mom, you're acting like a crazy bitch. Yeah, I'm sorry. She's not exactly wrong here, because what kind of parent looks at their kid and thinks, your relationship is inconvenient for my love life. That is backwards ass parenting 101. And then dad, our original poster here, calls her up like, what the fork are you doing? Which, frankly, is the only reaction that any sane person would have when they hear this. And mom's response, my love life is none of your business, except for that you've made it everybody's business. It became everybody's business the second you started trying to sabotage your daughter's relationship to serve your own agenda. You don't get to play rom-com while using your kid as a chess piece. So did the OP lose his temper? Yeah. Did he use some colorful language? Also, yeah. But when a grown-ass adult is lying, manipulating, and trying to tank her own daughter's relationship so she can date the boyfriend's dad, sir, I'm going to be honest. Crazy is the nicest word in the dictionary for what's happening here. This is not about being jealous. This is not about control. This is about a parent putting their own dating life above their child's emotional well-being. And that is some seriously upside down priority bull forkery. You're not the asshole for calling it out, but holy fork, this family needs some boundaries and therapy, please. And maybe a lock on that daughter's phone. Jeez. Okay, comments. Not the asshole in this case. Alana needs to tell Eric everything and ask that he pass it along to the dad to put an end to this Lifetime movie. Agreed. Second commenter, not the a-hole. The abusive person is your ex. Please keep your kid safe and try to get her mother some help. Also agreed. I think she's a little beyond help, though, to tell you the truth. So the third commenter says, not the a-hole. Your ex is actively hurting your daughter. A drunk parent calling her own kid a burden is scary and can be traumatic. She stole your daughter's phone, violating her privacy. And if she sent text in her name, she would also be stealing her identity. Not to mention her plan is extremely stupid. The boyfriend's dad doesn't want to date her because their kids dating would make it awkward. How is it any less awkward if their kids are no longer dating because your ex broke them up? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look, the comments section is not holding back on this one. First commenter says, somebody needs to end this Lifetime movie reel quick by having Alana tell Eric everything and let his dad know that what's going on, because nothing shuts down a scheme faster than the sunlight. Then commenter 2 comes in and says what a lot of people are thinking. The real problem here isn't the original poster, it's the ex. Because a parent who calls their own kid a burden and then starts messing with their relationship, way over the line. And commenter 3 points out that part that makes this whole plan so forking stupid. Boyfriend's dad said no because the kids dating would make it awkward. So how is it less awkward for mom if mom breaks them up by lying, stealing phones, and starting drama? That doesn't make it less weird. It makes it 10 times worse. At least that's my view of it. It's kind of crazy. Mom needs to get her shit straight. Sorry, not sorry. So that, my friends, is where we are going to wrap up Crazy Freak Out Friday, because a day that proved once again that the internet is basically a never-ending parade of people making decisions that leave the rest of us staring at the wall going, how did you think that was a good idea? No. But that's why we come here and talk about it, right? Because sometimes these stories are funny. Sometimes they're a little sad. And sometimes they're just pure chaos. Those are my favorite. But they all remind us of something important. How you treat people matters, whether it's a partner, a kid, a friend, or even some random person in your life. A little common sense and a little basic decency can prevent a lot of drama we see in these stories. And here we are week after week with people still out here making the most questionable choices humanly possible. But hey, if they're going to do it, at least we can learn from it and maybe get a good laugh along the way. Now, if you hung out with me live today, thank you for being here so very much. I appreciate you more than you know. If you're catching this on replay, make sure you let me know what you think in the comments. Who was the biggest asshole today? Which story made you shake your head the hardest? And most importantly, what would you have done? Because half the fun of these stories is hearing what everybody else thinks. And if you enjoyed today's chaos, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and come back next time, which will be tomorrow night for Jukebox Journey. Because if the internet has taught me anything, there is always another story waiting around the corner that will make us all say the same thing. You did what? So until next time, everybody, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and try not to end up as a story on Crazy Freak Out Friday. Seriously, y'all. I will buzz you later. Y'all get over to Tuber Chat for me, please.
I want to take a minute to shout out Tuber Chat. If you're a creator who's tired of surface level advice, and actually wants to understand how YouTube works, that's the space. It's real conversations with real creators who are in the trenches, building channels, testing ideas. No posturing, no gatekeeping, no fake guru energy, just people sharing what's working, what isn't, and why.
If you're serious about growing, learning, and not doing this alone, check out Tuber Chat. The link is in the description. If you're enjoying this show, subscribing is the easiest way to support what's being built here on BBTV. You'll see the join button right next to subscribe. No pressure, no expectations, just an option for people who want to support the channel in a real way. We're live every day at 3 p.m. Central now. And don't worry, we didn't change the heat, just the clock. And if you've got a story you want to share, send it in. Anonymous is always fine.
A boss be rising, BBTV.